who utilizes the time by discussing topics of the all-good personality of Godhead. Purport. This verse indirectly confirms the greater importance of utilizing the human form of life to realize our lost relationship with the Supreme Lord by acceleration of devotional service. Time and tide wait for no man, so the time indicated by the sunrise and the sunset will be uselessly wasted if such time is not properly utilized for realizing identification of spiritual values. Even a fraction of the duration of life wasted cannot be compensated by any amount of gold. Human life is simply awarded to a living entity, a jiva, so that he can realize his spiritual identity and his permanent source of happiness. A living being, especially the human being, is seeking happiness because happiness is the natural situation of the living entity, but he is vainly seeking happiness in the material atmosphere. A living being is constitutionally a spiritual spark of the complete whole, and his happiness can be perfectly perceived in spiritual activities. The Lord is the complete spirit whole, and his name, form, quality, pastimes, entourage, and personality are all identical with him. Once a person comes into contact with any one of the above mentioned energies of the Lord through the proper channel of devotional service, the door to perfection is immediately opened. In Bhagavad Gita 2.40, the Lord has explained such contact in the following words: endeavors in devotional service are never baffled, nor is there failure. A slight beginning of such activities is sufficient even to deliver a person from the great ocean of material fears. As a highly potent drug injected intravenously acts at once on the whole body, the transcendental topics of the Lord injected through the ear of the pure devotee of the Lord can act very efficiently. Oral realization of the transcendental messages implies total realization, just as fructification of one part of a tree implies fructification of all other parts. This realization for a moment in the association of pure devotees like Shukadev Goswami prepares one's complete life for eternity. And thus the sun fails to rob the pure devotee of his duration of life, inasmuch as he is constantly busy in devotional service of the Lord, purifying his existence. Death is a symptom of the material infection of the eternal living being. Only due to material infection is the eternal living entity subject to the law of birth, death, old age, and disease. The materialistic way of pious activity like charity is recommended in Smriti Shastras as quoted by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Money given in charity to a suitable person is guaranteed bank balance in the next life. Such charity is recommended to be given to a Brahmana. If the money is given in charity to a non-Brahmin without Brahminical qualification, the money is returned in the next life in the same proportion. If it is given in charity to a half-educated Brahmana, even the money is returned double. If the money is given in charity to a learned and fully qualified Brahmana, the money is returned 100 and 1,000 times. If the money is given to a Veda Paraga, one who has factually realized the path of Veda, it is returned unlimitedly multiplication. By unlimited multiplication. The ultimate end of Vedic knowledge is realization of the personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, as stated in Bhagavad Gita, Vedescha sarve raham eva vedyaha. There is a guarantee of monies being returned if given in charity, regardless of the proportion. Similarly, a moment passed in the association of a pure devotee by hearing and chanting the transcendental messages of the Lord is a perfect guarantee for eternal life, for returning home back to Godhead. Madhama gatva punarjanma na vidyate. In other words, a devotee of the Lord is guaranteed eternal life. A devotee's old age or disease in the present life is but an impetus to such guaranteed eternal life. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyadi Paschata Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Ayur Harithi Vaipungsam Udyan Astham Chayannasau tasyartayat kshano nita uttama shloka vartaya. Translation: both by rising and setting, the sun decreases the duration of life of everyone, except one who utilizes the time for discussing topics of the all-good personality of Godhead. Srimad Bhagavatam covers many topics. One of them is time, kala. Time is compared to a snake sometimes, kala sarpa. Because if you've seen a python, when the python is swallowing some food, it will swallow very slowly. But whatever has gone in has gone, it won't come out again. It's just a matter of when the whole dead body will enter the mouth of the snake. So time is like that. We are all being swallowed by the time of the time of the snake, of time. Kala sarpa. Systematically, day by day, our time is going. At birth, when we take birth, the tradition in Vedic culture was, before they will do the Vedic Jyotish reading. At that time, they will understand the future of the child according to the time he is born. The time and the place, we can determine the future. So, at that time, we can understand what his character will be, what his karma will be. So people are happy, okay, child is born. But actually, with birth comes death also. Although it's not happening that time, but day by day we are going to die. And final death comes at that time. But every day is death. And this is how Srimad Bhagavatam sees life. We are seeing life, time is going, time for this, time for that and that. But here Bhagavatam is saying very clearly that actually every single day our time is being taken away. We are coming closer to death. When is death? We don't know. Parikshit Maharaj knew. Who is Parikshit Maharaj?
Grandson of Arjuna.
Arjun's grandson. Parikshit Maharaj was cursed to die in 7 days. So he approached Shukadev Goswami to learn knowledge, because he understood that if I'm going to die, I better be in full consciousness of Krishna. Then I'll get liberation. Otherwise I'll come back. So he asked Shukadev Goswami to explain everything knowable to him. And in 7 days he explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. Shukadev Goswami knew, this Parikshit Maharaj knew when he'll die. We don't know. He had 7 days. Do we have 7 seconds? Do we have 7 minutes? Do we have 7 hours? Maybe 7 years? 7 decades? We don't know. And so Srimad Bhagavatam explains that Turnam yateta prateta na patet anumritu yavan. Turnam patet means, Turna means immediately. Turnam patet anumrityu na patet. Na patet means falling. Na patet anumrityu yavan. That till the time this body has not fallen down and died, you must endeavor to realize Nishreyasaya. Endeavor to understand who am I, who is God, what is my relation to God, what is my duty. We all have a duty. We may not know the duty, we may not know the goal, but we cannot say there is no goal. There is a goal in life, as Bhagavatam explains. So here it's explained how our time is taken. Time is a feature of material world. There is no time in spiritual world. Well, in one way there is time, but it's not, we are not under it. It is helping in the Leela, in the pastime of Krishna. It is night and day, accordingly how Krishna will enjoy at that time. Accordingly it's night or day. But in the material world, we are under time. At the time we are born, we are placed under the charge of a certain nakshatra, a certain planet. Jupiter, Shani, Buddha. So all the planets that we are born under, they govern our life. And so just by knowing which planet someone is born, we can understand their future. It will tell you, born under this nakshatra, this tendency, this will happen, that will happen, whatever it is. So actually they're giving our karma. So we understand this from Shastra, that we are under time. Now here it's explained, what is governing the time? The sun. Sun is known as there's a Kala Chakra. Kala Chakra. The sun goes around, of course we are taught the earth goes around. But Bhagavatam tells us the earth is not moving anyway. It is still on Bhumandala, and next to Mount Meru. And circumambulating the whole universe is the sun. It takes 365 days to go round. It's not only going round, but it's going round and up like this. Oh well, now it's going down right now. It is coming down like this. Then what happens on Makara Sankranti? It starts coming up again. It starts going north, and it goes round and round and round, goes up until Dakshinayana. Again, then it starts coming down. This is the Bhagavatam's explanation. So, through its movement, the sun is governing our time. In due course of time, what will happen to me? They can tell you, if you go to astrologer, at this time this will happen, you'll get money, you'll not get money, you'll suffer, you'll not suffer. Because we have done certain actions in our past life which have to accrue. Karma has been performed. Karma phal must come, the fruit. We planted the seed. So the karma bij is in our subtle body, and it will fructify at a certain time. And so, in any body we are in this material world, we have to go through birth, death, disease, old age, as well as whatever karma we have. But there's a special function of the human body. Here it says, this verse indirectly confirms the greater importance of utilizing the human form of life to realize our lost relationship with the Supreme Lord by acceleration of devotional service. You understand acceleration? If you're driving a car, it means we are taught that movement, what is movement? Change of space over time. Space is changing in a given time. And what is acceleration? Rate of change is increasing exponentially, faster. So here, what is it referring to? Acceleration of devotional service. That we begin our life and we have to accelerate our spiritual activity, because there will be a time which Bhagavad Gita refers to as Dehantara Prapti. Dehantara Prapti. In one word, in English, it's called death. So what happens at death? In English we say death. They don't have knowledge. But Bhagavatam says, not death, changing body. We change the body. When will we change our body? When will I change my body? When will you change the body? Death is not the end. That is understood here. Jatasya hi dhruva mityur, dhruva janmritasya cha. One who is born is sure to die. One who has died is sure to be born. This is explained in Bhagavad Gita. So, the sun is governing when our karma will come to us. It goes round. Every time it goes round, the day is coming and going. Our age is increasing, and at some point, we'll change the body. There's a saying in English, it's written here in the purport, time and tide wait for no man. Tide, you know what is time, you know, tide. What is tide?
Wave.
Yeah. Tide means sometimes the water goes out in the sea. Sometimes it comes in. It's according to the moon. The moon attracts the water. When the moon, on full moon, all the water will come. Amavasya, it goes. So, that will happen. It will not wait for anyone. It will happen. It must happen. So, in that way, the time indicated by sunrise and sunset, it has to come. And in this time between sunrise and sunset, we have the option what to do. Because we have free will. What will you do? How much we will remember Krishna? Because now I spoke about karma bij, which is in the subtle body. It's true. We all have. We don't know what our karma will be next second. Therefore, Bhagavatam, the phone. So, no, it's okay. So, Bhagavatam explains that this material world is It is a phrase that Lord Brahma prays, Padam Padam Yad Vipadam. Danger at every step. We don't know next step what will happen because we don't know our karma. So this karma is in our body. But Bhagavatam also explains in the 3rd canto, Lord Kapila's teachings, that bhakti is like a fire. If we have some seeds, example, we cook using coriander, dhania, jeera, and we put in the food, the taste is good. The same dhania, what will happen if you put in the ground? Plant the jeera, plant the dhania, plant the sauf. It will grow. They are seeds. They will grow into plants. Similarly, we have seeds in our body for karma, and that karma will come. But that same seed, if I cook it on the fire, dry roast it, then I plant it, what will happen? It won't grow, isn't it? It won't grow. So similarly, when one does bhakti, the karma bij burns. It cannot act. People are concerned about how they will suffer, what will happen. They're concerned. They go to the astrologer. Will I get money? Will this happen? When will my health be okay? When is the best time for marriage? When is the best time to have a child? They ask because of suffering. So much suffering in the world. But for bhaktas, devotees, they don't do that. Devotees don't check much horoscope. They check to some extent to help their bhakti. The reason is because we understand from Shastra that one who does bhakti burns up the karma. Karma is burnt up. How much will it burn? How much is the fire? If I put a low fire and I cook the seed, some will be destroyed, some will not. Some will grow. And if I put a high fire, it's very hot, everything is finished. Similarly, tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. If we do bhakti very tivra, intensely, all the karma is destroyed. There is no need to check the chart. It is said that in the kirtan, if you clap like this, the lines are changing. The lines will change. And in Skanda Purana says in the kirtan, if you jump in the kirtan, the pap flies away like the butterflies. Many butterflies are there. If you go whoop, like that, they'll all fly away. So all the karma flies away. Of course, we are not after karma. We want to just serve God. Be careful. He's just coming with this. Okay. So this is the effect of bhakti. Bhakti is so powerful that it will change your destiny. That is mentioned many times in Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam. Of course, the main verse of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya, mam ekam sharanam vraja, aham tam sarva papebhyo. I will destroy all your pap. Moksha ishyami, I liberate you. Ma shucha, don't be afraid. Because we become afraid. When one does bhakti, then there's a fear sometimes. Because instead of bhakti, they do normally karma kand. Through karma kand, we get so many good karma to get money, wealth in the next life, good birth. But when we do bhakti, we don't do that. So someone is afraid, maybe afraid, if I don't do these rituals and there's so many rites, then what will happen to my future? Krishna says, Mahasha, don't be afraid. I liberate you. You will not take birth again. You will go to Vaikuntha. And so, in this life, it's like a race. Because every time we change the body, we forget everything. Like if I ask you, what was your job in the past life? What was your name? Where were we living? We'll not know. Before that, and before that, what was your parents' name? What was your dog's name? We won't know anything of the past life. And before that, and before, we'll not know. Even this life, everything will be finished. At death, we'll forget everything. So, in this way, we keep changing the body and forgetting everything. So, through the process of bhakti, one will stop this cycle. But that will happen if we can do devotional service in such a way that we can change our mind and that we can always think about Krishna. Because now we think about different things. So at the time of death, what we think about, we will attain that. Krishna says in Gita, Yam yam smarani bhavam tyajanti ante kalevaram tam tam avaiti kaunteya sadatad bhava bhavitaha. He tells Arjun, whatever at death you remember, you will attain that. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there's the story of Jadabharat. Jadabharat, in the past life, he was known as Bharat, Bharat, son of Rishabdev. He was a great ruler. And according to what we understand, India is called Bharat because of Bharat. How he ruled the whole planet so powerfully. Before India this planet was called Ilavrita Varsha, among the Devalok. Now among Devalok it's known as Bharat, the planet of Bharat. So Bharat, he was a very elevated spiritualist. He was worshipping God. At the proper age, he gave the kingdom to his son and left the kingdom and went to take Vanaprastha in the forest to do the last remaining to get liberation at the last remaining portion of his life. But what happened is that he found a baby deer. That baby deer, he was taking care of the deer. He didn't have a mother. He took care. Then after some time, he became thinking so much about the deer. Then at death, he became a deer. Even though he was very close to liberation, but at the time of death, what we remember, that we attain. As Bhagavad Gita says, Tyajanti sadatad bhava bhavitaha. Tyajanti ante kalevaram. Ante, at the end we leave the body. What do we think? So he thought of the deer. He got a deer's body. But he was such an elevated transcendentalist. Even in the body of the deer, he remembered his past life. And he remembered the shlokas and his shiksha. So he understood, my next body, I have to again come back to the path of liberation. Become devotee of Krishna. So at death, he thought about Krishna and he attained a very elevated birth in a family of transcendentalists. And then the next life, he attained moksha. This story is given in Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is in 5th canto, if I'm not mistaken. So we have this time from beginning of the life to the end to change that. We have so many memories of the past life that is in our subconscious. Even this life, but we'll not remember it. Even this life we'll not remember. What we have to remember is we have to remember Krishna at the end. This is not easy because normally we'll remember what we like, what we attach to, and all these things. So to remember Krishna at death, the way to do it is to constantly practice remembering Krishna whole day. We are working, we are studying, but in between we have to chant Hare Krishna. We have to hear about Krishna. The system is in the morning. Morning is known as Shubha. Subha. It's an auspicious time to remember Krishna. And so, at this time, whatever we remember, the whole day we can. It sticks in the mind. It's very deep. Especially at Brahma Muhurta. The more we think of Krishna at this time, it makes a deep impression. And by thinking of Krishna, we destroy so many of our attachments and past sinful activities. By doing bhakti, this happens. So now, this verse, first 2 lines explains how our life is taken away. The day is taken away by the sun's rising and setting. Our time is taken. But now the second 2 lines, what does it say? Tasyarte yat kshano nito uttama shloka vartaye. Vartaya. Uttama shloka refers to Vishnu. Because Uttama shloka means the one who is glorified by the highest shlokas. Uttama shlok, highest verses, best shlokas, we are glorifying Vishnu. That's why he is known as Uttama shloki. So, one who is engaged, kshana nita, kshana, each second, all is thinking about Vishnu. Either reading about him in the Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, hearing the katha, chanting Hare Krishna, taking prasad, attending the kirtan, speaking about him, going to the temple, coming from the temple. Every time we're thinking about Krishna, what happens? Then that time is not taken away. For the devotee, the sun cannot touch his time. How is that possible? It's possible. how to understand it. We cannot understand the intricacies of philosophy, Siddhanta, Bhakti Siddhanta. The Siddhanta, which is the philosophy of Bhakti, is inconceivable. But it says that the sun rising and setting cannot touch our time of a devotee, if that time goes in Krishna. But for everyone else, birth, death, old age and disease is inevitable. So this verse is saying, indirectly confirms the greater importance of utilizing human life to realize our lost relationship with the Lord. It says in this same second canto in the beginning, it says that sa etavan sankhe yoga bhyam swadharma parinishthaya janmalabha parapumsa ante narayana smritihi. So everyone does different things to realize God, to become pure. Some of them say, etavan sankhya, they are jnanis. They'll study Upanishads, Vedanta, they'll try to understand by their brain. They're known as jnana yogis, sankhya. Etavan sankhya. Others, they will do yoga. They will do ashtanga yoga, dhyana yoga. Etavan sankhya yoga bhyam. So through yoga, they want to attain mukti, they want to attain liberation. So they try to do different asanas, then try to enter samadhi, the eightfold processes. Yam, niyam, and all the dharana, all the processes. So etavan sankhya yoga bhyam. Others say, swadharma parinishthaya. What is my dharma? According to my varna, I will follow that properly. Swadharma parinishthaya. And by that I will attain perfection. They are known as karma yogis. They are yogis, karmis, and jnanis. But Bhagavatam is saying, etavan sankhya yoga bhyam swadharma parinishthaya janma labha para pumsa. But for all of them, the greatest benefit is what? Janma labha para pumsam. The best aim, the highest aim of the jiva is ante Narayana Smriti. At the end we have to remember Narayan, because whatever we remember death, we will attain that. So what will happen now? Can we remember Narayan now? That we can know when we sleep at night, whatever we think now, what is our deepest desire, that comes in the dream. So then in that case, how many people will think about Krishna? We will think about our attachments. We notice that at night it's a completely different world. The dreams are coming. And it's not like what we are doing now. That shows what is our deepest desires. So when that changes to Krishna, Guru, Vaishnava, then we can understand. But it's not easy. It takes sometimes many lives, but it can take one life. That depends on our actions. It's required for us to practice. And it's not so hard now in this Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga has so many imperfections. Now everyone is happy because there's, New Year, but we all know that year by year things are deteriorating, wars are increasing, diseases are increasing. And if you ask your father how was his life, grandfather, they'll tell you it was a much better life. I remember my father told me that his father once was doing a transaction for land, to buy land. How did they seal the transaction? That man came, he came, and they shook hand. Is it done? Done. Okay, shake hand, finish. There is no title deed, there is nothing. But everyone had a high character. Children, they'll walk around, women, now they cannot walk around, they cannot do that. Because actually Kali Yuga means tatas chanu dhiram satyam shocham kshama daya. Day by day in Kali, everything will decrease. Tatas chanu dhinam dharma satyam shaucham shama daya kalena balina rajan nangshati ayur balam smriti. 8 things decrease day by day in Kali Yuga. Satyam, truth. People lie like anything. And now it's so common that you can lie and then you know he's lying. He knows you know he's lying. They'll just ignore. Okay, don't do it again. Okay. Shopkeeper, rickshaw, everyone lies. So satyam, shocham, cleanliness. If you go still in some villages inside, you'll see how they scrub their pots clean, they have clean cloth, but in city life it's gone. There's no concept, because culture broke down. Satyam, Shocham, Kshama, forgiveness, no forgiveness. You read in the paper, I read, somebody ran a car over someone. Why? He didn't give me my 20 rupees. Kshama, no Kshama. Heavy punishment for small things. Daya, mercy, no mercy. Now you hear many times people is hit by a car, everyone is taking selfie, taking video, and he's bleeding to death. This came in the paper. Someone, it happened. It happens very often now. No, people are not feeling compassion. Oh, bichara, person's dying, take him to hospital. No, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to dirty my car, the blood will come. No daya, shama, daya, nangshati, ayur, balam, smitihi. Length of life. See how long our father lived, grandfather, great-grandfather, it will become less. Ayur, balam, strength, smriti, memory, you'll forget. We can't remember a 10-digit phone number now. Before they'll remember so many things. They'll remember, even now, Vishnu Sahasranam and so many things. Now we can't remember even one phone number. Wait, I have to write it. So this is Kali. Kala is dosho nidhe. Kali is ocean of faults. Ocean of faults. But it's written in Bhagavatam. Asti eko mahadguna. There is one good quality, Kali. What is good? It's so bad. No, there is one good quality. Asti eko mahadguna. Kirtana deva krishnasya muktasanga param vrajit. Simply by chanting Krishna's kirtan, we can get liberation. Because now we cannot do dhyan, we cannot do yoga. Actually, we cannot do anything. No one has time, no one has energy, no one has money. How are you going to do Homa? Especially time, no one has. It's like that, Kali Yuga, you have to struggle hard for little food. It's mentioned in Shastra. It will become very hard. So where's the time now to do bhakti? Where's the attention? Even we have time, we'll sit, but mind is not peaceful. It's going here. What I'll do tomorrow? What I did yesterday? What's happening? What about this? So we cannot do anything else. But Asti eko mahadguna kirtana deva krishnasya mukta sangam paramvrajit. It's mentioned in Kali Yuga simply by this mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Simply by chanting this in japa, in kirtan, we can get liberation. This is given. Nata parataropaya sarvagadeshu dishyate. Then it says in that Kali, there's no other way. So, yes, it's very difficult. It's so much suffering condition in Kali. But the good thing is this, that yes, time is taken away day by day. Our life is getting shorter. Death is coming. In that time we have to get liberation. But it's not hard. We simply have to chant Hare Krishna daily and read Bhagavad Gita and understand our position. Otherwise we will not chant if we don't understand the philosophy. So by this, we are able to attain perfection. And for the devotee who does bhakti, time is not issue. Otherwise, day by day, year by year, time is going. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Any question? Wait.
What is the position of a person who remembers Guru at his last time?
At the time of death, the Guru, if he is a Pramanik Guru, bona fide, in the line of Parampara, teaching Krishna, then even if you remember Guru, you can attain perfection. Prabhupada mentioned this point. Yeah, but he has to be Pramanik, not so many so-called bogus Guru, proper teaching Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, teaching not how to become attached to this world, how to become detached. Yeah, you can also think of Guru. That's auspicious.
प्रभु जी जो आपने बताया कि वैसे कर्म मतलब तीव्र भक्ति उसमें सारे पाप मतलब पाप या कर्म
नष्ट होते हैं.
तो वो तीव्र भक्ति आने का प्रोसेस क्या है?
नहीं, भक्ति तो वो है जो मैंने बोला, इट्स द सेम थिंग. लेकिन कुछ लोग भक्ति मतलब पार्ट टाइम करते हैं, आधा घंटा, मे बी 15 मिनट. कुछ लोग बहुत ध्यान से करते हैं, डेली साधना, डेली साधना, 16 माला, बुक भगवद गीता पढ़ते हैं, फिर अपना काम पे जाते, वापस आके फिर कुछ करते हैं. तो इन दिस वे जो बहुत सीरियस और सारे जो फेस्टिवल्स आते हैं, उत्सव, सब और नियम पालन करते हैं, तो उनके लिए बहुत जल्दी नष्ट होते हैं पाप। लेकिन कुछ लोग में भी संडे आएंगे, थोड़ा करेंगे इधर उधर, तब तो बहुत समय लगेगा।
और एक है जैसे भगवान बोलते हैं सर्व धर्म परित्यज्य,
हाँ,
तो उसी में गीता में और एक फिर देखा जाता है कि अर्जुन को बोलते हैं कि आपका कर्तव्य करो,
नियतम कुरु कर्माणि। हाँ,
फिर
अपना
और एक गीता में भी दिखते हैं कि हमारा शरीर है जो कर्मशील है, वो आप करो या ना करो कर्म होते ही रहते हैं। तो
कौन सा श्लोक है वो जो अपनी बुक्स है, वो कौन सा श्लोक है?
मुझे श्लोक याद नहीं है।
ठीक है,
comes in 3rd chapter.
ओके, फिर फिर
तो वही है, तो ऐसे इसमें थोड़ा प्रकाश डालिए कि
हाँ, ओके, आई हैव टू स्विच टू हिंदी। ठीक है, जब कृष्ण बोलते हैं सर्वधर्मन परित्यज्य, सारे धर्म छोड़ के, फिर लेकिन वर्णाश्रम धर्म नहीं, वो अलग अलग धर्म है मुक्ति पाने के लिए। जैसे क्योंकि इससे पहले वो तो अंत में है 18 अध्याय में, लेकिन उससे पहले कृष्ण ने कर्मयोग वर्णन किया, कर्मयोग, ध्यान, ज्ञान, अलग अलग प्रकार के योग, वो छोड़ के सिर्फ भक्ति करना है। क्योंकि जब कृष्ण ने बोला सर्वधर्मन परित्यज्य, तो अर्जुन तो एक्चुअली क्षत्रिय थे, फिर भी he continued in his Kshatriya dharma, in his family, in his kingdom, that he kept। लेकिन मुक्ति का प्रोसेस में सिर्फ भक्ति करना है, वो कहते हैं सर्वधर्मान परित्यज्य माम एकम शरणम व्रज, सिर्फ मेरे शरण में। तो फिर आपने बोला, हाँ, 3rd चैप्टर में कृष्ण कहते हैं नियतम कुरु कर्म त्वम, अपना कर्म करो। उनका कर्म क्या था? क्षत्रिय। हाँ, भगवद गीता में लेवल्स होते हैं। फिर 2nd चैप्टर में लिखा है सुखिना क्षत्रिय पार्थ युद्धे लाभम यद ईदृशम स्वर्गद्वारम अपावृतम, कि जब क्षत्रिय अपना कर्तव्य करते हैं तो स्वर्गद्वारम अपावृत, वो स्वर्ग जाते हैं। ठीक है, लेकिन बाद में कृष्ण कहते हैं नहीं, वो हमारा गोल नहीं है, हमें मुक्ति पाना है। क्योंकि ये जब तक जन्म लेते रहेंगे तो जन्म मृत्यु जरा व्याधि ये सब होगा। तो जीव का उद्देश्य है इस संसार चक्र से छूटना, फिर उसके लिए भक्ति करना है। इसलिए भगवद गीता का लेवल्स हैं। तो 3rd चैप्टर में वे कहते हैं कि अपना कर्म करो, बाद में कहते हैं जो मैं कहता हूँ वो करो। 18वें अध्याय में कृष्ण कहते हैं। इसलिए सब लोग, बहुत लोग उनको दे वेरी मच लाइक दैट 3rd चैप्टर, डू योर ड्यूटी, आई विल डू माई ड्यूटी, दैट्स इट। लेकिन उसके आगे फिर कृष्ण ने और भी ज्ञान दिए। और फिर उससे पहले क्या कहता है? इदम तो ते गुह्यतमम प्रवक्ष्यामि, अभी मैं और भी गुह्य ज्ञान दे रहा हूँ, और भी ऊंचा ज्ञान दे रहा हूँ। ये 3 बार कहते हैं कृष्ण 9 चैप्टर में, फिर 10 चैप्टर में, फिर 18 चैप्टर में फिर कहता है सर्वगुह्यतमम भूया शृणु में परमम वचा। अब जो भी मैंने बोला इससे ऊंचा ज्ञान मैं दे रहा हूँ। सर्वगुह्यतमम भूया, फिर से शृणु में परमम वचा, अभी मेरा परम ज्ञान सुना। परम शिक्षा क्या है? सर्वधर्मान परित्यज्य। तो ये इसका मतलब अंडरस्टैंडिंग है। अलग लेवल्स हैं, लेकिन सबसे ऊंचा वो है। मे बी सबसे ऊंचा इंस्ट्रक्शन हम नहीं कर सकते अभी, लेकिन बस मन में रखना है कि ये करना है। तो आगे अभी के लिए ठीक है, कर लो जो भी हो सकता है।
मेरा प्रश्न वही, हम लोग के जैसे क्या करना उचित होते हैं?
वो तो कृष्ण के रिप्रेजेंटेटिव आते हैं, आचार्य लोग आते हैं और वो हमें देते हैं। जैसे अभी शिल प्रभुपाद है, तो प्रभुपाद कृष्ण के परंपरा में आ रहे हैं और हम क्या सिखाए कि 16 माला करना है, हरे कृष्ण मंत्र के जप करना है। और क्योंकि भागवतम से पता चलता है कि इस युग के युग धर्म क्या है? कली कालेर धर्म हरि नाम संकीर्तन। तो कृष्ण ये हरे कृष्ण मंत्र जप करना है, 4 नियम पालन करना है और प्रसाद खाना है, 4 राउंड, 4 रेगुलर प्रिंसिपल्स, और डेली अगर हो सके कृष्ण भगवद गीता भागवतम का कथा सुनना है। कुछ लोग यूट्यूब में सुनते हैं, कुछ लोग आके सुनते हैं, लेकिन ये प्रैक्टिकली प्रभुपाद आके दिए हमें, हमारे लिए देश काल पत्र के अनुसार से कैसे भक्ति करते हैं, वो आचार्य लोग आते हैं, हमें बताते हैं। तो ये हमारे हैं अभी। तो करो, कब शुरू करोगे? आज शुरू करो। नहीं तो कब करेंगे? नहीं तो कब करेंगे ना? नहीं तो कब करेंगे?
नहीं, आज शुरू करने के लिए भी अच्छा दिन है।
अच्छा, बहुत अच्छा, ठीक है। मैं चेक करूँगा, ठीक है, फ़ोन करूँगा। जब किया, गीता पढ़ा। हरे कृष्ण। ओके, श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय।